In this video I want to try and explain the use of the compare to and the equal methods. This is always used, mainly used when working with strings. So if you look at the bottom right hand corner, you've got typical string declarations for A, B, C and D. For us to be able to understand compare to and equal, we must imagine, I say imagine because we don't have the actual code, we must see string as just another class. So on the top left hand corner you've got my idea of the class definition for string. So the class string has a value, and then amongst many other methods it has two methods called equals and compare to. Notice what equals does. It takes in another string as a parameter and then it returns true if the this dot value is equal to the string value that comes in. So the current object takes in via the parameter a string, and if the current object's value is the same as the one coming in, it returns a true for equals, otherwise it returns a false. Compare to says return this dot value, so the object you're in at the moment, minus other dot value. So it subtracts the string that comes in from its own value. In the coming slides we'll explain what this subtraction means. Okay, so first let's get a visual image of what the memory diagram looks like for the strings A, B, C and D. Because in the previous slide we said that string is just another class. So A, B, C and D now becomes objects, and each one of these objects have the values John, Adam, John and Zuko. But very importantly, inside each of these objects you also have the methods equals and compare to. So just like the other objects that we defined ourselves earlier, the string also has its own public methods. In this case we talk about equals and compare to. So what happens when I say if A dot equals B? Okay, so what is A? A is the pointer to the object that contains John. B is the pointer that points to the object that contains Adam. So when you look at the equals method inside A, the other that comes in there as a parameter is the B object. So the other points to the object containing Adam. Okay, so if we look at the A dot equals, we're comparing John to Adam. So when we say A dot equals C, the other inside the equals method of John points to object C, which is the one that contains also a value of John. So inside equals, it sees that its own value John is same as the value of the John that came in via parameter, and therefore it returns a true. So A dot equals in this case is true. Okay, so when we look at the compare to method inside class string, top left hand corner, what it says return this dot value minus other dot value. So if I say A dot compare to B is less than 0, what am I doing? I'm inside A, inside the compare to method, so that object that has value John, it takes as input the parameter B. So it points to the same object which B is pointing to. So John and Adam are the two strings that are compared. Because we say this dot value minus other dot value, it actually means John minus Adam. So what does this mean? We'll see that on the next slide. Okay, how do we understand when we subtract two strings from each other? So remember we said it's John minus Adam. The first thing that we notice is that John comes after Adam when they would be sorted alphabetically. So you'll first find Adam and then John. So because John is after Adam, in terms of the subtraction, we view John as being bigger than Adam. So the answer of John minus Adam would thus be greater than 0, because John is greater than Adam. If it was Adam minus John, the answer would be less than 0. Okay, so the if statement says A dot compare to B. So inside the compare to method, it says John minus Adam. And because John is after Adam alphabetically, it's also bigger than Adam, and therefore compare to will return a positive, a greater than 0 value. So this if statement is true, which in other words says A is greater than B. A comes after B when sorted alphabetically. So when we return to the bubble sort name method, remember in the bubble sort you look at two adjacent values in the array, and in this case we want to say, is the element at position first greater than the element at second? So is first greater than second? So remembering how the compare to works, notice what the if statement says. It says if first.getName compare to, and you send second through as the parameter is greater than 0. So in other words, it says if the name of first is greater than the name of second. And because when will it be greater than? When the name of first comes after the name of second when sorted. So if the name is for first is John and the name for second is Adam, then this if statement will be true, because the compare to will return the value of John minus Adam, and thus it will return a value greater than 0.